In previous discussions, I've asked you to set aside your emotions for your partner. It skews your thinking, and it can have you making an emotional reaction to a person versus a logical decision-making process that we're trying to go through together. I've asked you to set aside your affection for your boyfriend or your girlfriend so you can take an honest look at your partner and decide if they are what you really want. There can be a problem with being too practical, however, and that's what I want to discuss today. Getting married for purely financial reasons. As an amazingly practical person myself, I can see the allure of just doing this, getting married because it's good on your taxes. But just let me throw a spotlight on it for a moment and introduce some caution. Let's talk about it. Hi, I'm Alex Blassingame. So why get married for financial reasons? Well, there's a lot of reasons. Better health insurance, lower taxes, shared benefits and discounts, life insurance and retirement plans. There's a lot of really important adult financial issues and reasons why you might want to legally entangle yourself with somebody. And that sounds great. All of those things are great on face value. Now, I'll be honest with you, I hadn't given this much thought. I've been married for a long time, and this was kind of just part and parcel with getting married for me, but I had other reasons why I wanted to get married. But recently, I've had some discussions with a few people, and this topic has come up with them. They've said things to me which really get my ears pricked up, and I just wanted to talk about it for a minute and make sure that everybody had a proper understanding of the risks and rewards with this reason for getting married. So we're going to start off with some statements that you should really look out for if you find yourself saying this or your boyfriend or your girlfriend saying this. Then we're going to talk about some more practical matters and some issues that can crop up along the way and how you might want to tackle those. Before we get started on that, do me a quick favor, click that like button, push the subscribe button and the notification bell. It'll let you know when I add a new video to my playlist, and it'll help me out too. I really appreciate it. Now, when people tell me that they are thinking about getting married for what I consider and they consider to be purely financial reasons that we've already discussed, that statement is inevitably followed by one of two general statements. One is, I'm not sure if I really want to get married, but it would make this person happy. If that's what you find yourself saying, you pair that financial reasoning statement with making your partner happy, I want you to go back and listen to my very first recording and figure out why you want to get married. What are your reasons to get married? If it is only to make someone happy, that is not you, then you should really sit down and consider whether that's a good reason. There are other ways, perhaps, of dealing with these financial issues. This is going to sound cold, but do not let your boyfriend or girlfriend's happiness steer your life. As I said in our discussion about changing people, lasting change is 100% selfish. 100% selfish doesn't mean you're changing for somebody else. It also means you need to change for yourself. You need to change for reasons that are important to you. Marriage is a change. So you need to get married for reasons that are important to you. Your individual happiness needs to be satisfied. Here's the second statement that I hear paired with the financial reason for getting married. Well, we've been together for X number of years, and it'll really just make it easier from a financial point of view. We'll stop right there. That isn't a reason to get married. It's an excuse not to make a decision, not to be decisive. You either want to marry this person because you want to be married to them or not. The fact that you want to get married to a person just so you can get lower taxes is questionable and shaky foundation in my point of view. If you find yourself using this statement, I want you to go back to our discussion on the importance of honesty with your partner and honesty with yourself, and it's time to talk to yourself. Really look in the mirror and be honest with yourself. Because when you say this, we've been together, let's just get married for financial reasons, we'll figure it out, what I'm hearing is, this person is presently tolerable and it's just much easier to stay with them than it is to go and find someone that I might really be happy with. So if you take your phrase and you put it the way that I put it, it doesn't sound so nice, does it? It makes you kind of sound lazy, and it makes it sound like you're probably going to be unhappy down the road. We already talked about not using divorce as a plan B, so don't start thinking, well, we'll just get married and we'll have financial stuff, and if it doesn't work out, then we'll just get divorced. Well, that's fantastically adult thinking. That's great. Let's get all our finances and insurance entangled with each other, and then we'll just walk away and it'll be easy. No. Down to brass tacks. Here's what I recommend that you would do if you find yourself in this situation. Ask yourself this question, the question that we've been asking all along in 100 different ways. Do I want to marry this person or not? Even if it's not financially advantageous for me at this point. If the answer is no, then call them up right now and say, hey, this isn't working out, I'm moving on, and cut bait and run, right? Go find someone you do want to be happy with. Go find someone you do want to be married to for emotional reasons yourself, that you actually want to have a life with, not a financial plan with. If the answer to that question is yes, you do want to be married to this person, even if it's not financially advantageous, but your reasoning is still primarily financial, then let me just issue some cautionary statements, because you're going to make your own adult decision. I just want you to think about some things. Social considerations. Are you going to have a wedding? Who's going to marry you? Your financial planner? What are you going to tell your friends and family when you decide to get married? Is that the reasoning you're going to offer? Decide if that's important to you. We have other discussions about listening and not listening to your friends and family. So, put that in the mix. Think about what you might do if that's important to you. Let's touch on the financial thing for a moment here. Talk to your insurers, your banks, your mortgage company, your work. See about what it would take to get your boyfriend or girlfriend onto your insurance, onto your benefits, onto your life insurance, what have you, without necessarily getting married to them. Could you add them as a beneficiary? Can you form a trust with your assets and add them to that in some capacity? Talk to a financial planner. Maybe it's not necessary for you to get married if you want to have the financial benefits of it. Let's talk about the legal issues for a moment. Do you live in a community property state? What do they have to say about civil unions? What do they have to say about how you divide property when you split up? What if you move for your job? Will the laws change? They probably will. What is that going to mean to you? Prenuptial agreements. This is what comes up. Well, we're going to get a prenup. Okay, great. You're thinking ahead. You're going to get a prenup. Make sure you go and talk to an actual lawyer about a prenup. Don't go on the LegalZoom and print one out. Don't write it on the back of a napkin. Don't make a handshake. Go talk to a lawyer and really hammer this out. And better yet, take your boyfriend or girlfriend with you. Make sure you have a really honest discussion about this. If you emotionally make each other happy, if you decide that you want to be together, then you should be able to do that. They either will or will not understand that you feel the need to financially protect yourself. And they're either going to take that and not be offended by it, and they're going to be with you, or they're not. You don't know what's going to happen. Make sure you really have an honest discussion about that, because you don't want lingering doubts and things to creep into your relationship somewhere down the line. Let's touch again on separation. That's the final topic I want to throw caution on. Just because you have a prenup doesn't mean you're just going to be able to pack up your suitcases and go your separate ways. It's a process. It will take time. It will take money. It will take emotional energy. The person that you're with can probably make this a living hell just by going to a judge and whining about how you're going to cut them off from their resources and their insurance. And then now we have an issue. They could not show up in court. It could cost you more lawyer fees. Who knows where this is going to go. There's a rabbit hole that you could go down here. So the more entangled you get with a person, the harder it is to separate yourself. One thing you could do is have separate bank accounts. You could have separate titles. You could put your money in a trust or some other financial instrument that they couldn't touch. You want to make sure that you honestly discuss all of this, that your prenup would cover all of this, that your agreement with this person would cover these issues. These are important issues to discuss. So I'm not saying don't use this as a reason to get married. Financial considerations are an extremely adult thing to think about. And I really like that your mind is in a practical, logical mindset. Just be cautious and have an honest discussion with your partner. And if they're a logical adult and they're in the same mindset as you, this will not be a problem. If they whine and moan, then maybe you've weeded out a potential issue down the road, and then you can put that in your decision-making mix and decide if you want to continue with this person. Leave me a comment. Let me know if you have had problems with this. If you are not having problems with this, let me know if there's an additional issue which we haven't discussed. I'd really love to hear about it. Find me on Facebook, follow me on Instagram, visit my website, alexblassingame.com. Thanks for watching. There'll be more. It's harder when I write it down. The fact that you can get better health insurance and lower taxes is kind of a poor decision to, in my point of view.